T-Man 978 Chill Review.
Hello everyone, T-Man 978. Right now I'm reviewing Fans Toys Quietus, who was supposed to be a Transformers masterpiece equivalent of Cyclonus. This packaging artwork is awesome. This is like one of the best artworks I can think of for Fans Toys, and I don't usually show off the box this much. Not anymore recently. But here's all this right here. If you can read that, read it, pause. Here's this stuff right here. Here's the other side. And now let's open it so I can play with it. Before I get into my typical reviewer's groove, I wanted to thank Matt, the bot supplier, for helping me get this guy at a good price. And let me just tell you, first impressions straight out of the box, I haven't moved him around much. But right off top of everything, I feel gypped when it comes to Fans Toys Lupus and Dracula, because this guy comes with everything. Like, he even comes with this Target Master, which they do not show on the packaging. I do not know why they don't do that. You're going to see more of this as the review goes along, but he comes with a lot of accessories. Those other two figures I mentioned only come with 2 accessories, or 1, and 3 if you include their head that transform. That's nowhere near as good as that, or the same size. So yeah, I'm satisfied with my purchase. As per the norm, he comes with his credit card quality tech spec card. It has the same bio that was on the box. As you can see, his stats are quite high. He comes with this instruction manual, and this time they remembered to include the Target Master and all the other relevant things, like how to make him into IDW. Cyclonus right there. But yeah, this thing is friggin' amazing. I have one issue with the transformation, and I'm pretty sure you're going to be seeing that a lot until somebody comes up with a fix, if there even needs to be a fix, but you'll see that when I get there. But if this thing had ab crunch, he would definitely probably be figure of the year. Because look at the silhouette, it's like definitely like it jumped out of the daggone cartoon. Before I keep going on with Quietus Cyclonus, let's get into Nightstick, or who they call on the packaging, Escrima. I think that's how you pronounce it. But this is awesome. It's pretty much just like their other Target Masters that they produce. One thing I wish it could have done is look up and down, because it can get into all types of poses with the body, but not being able to look up and down really hinders things. The arms can do this, go out like that. There's a ball joint here, so there's wiggle right there, and there's a hinge, so it can swivel and get double jointed motion right there. It can actually bend backwards due to transformation. This just rotates. It has a waist joint, but the way this transforms, you have to move that out of the way, and then you can start using the waist joint right there. The hips can go out to the side, all the way back, all the way forward. One issue I have with this guy is this joint right here, and the knee is tight as crap. If you don't bend it specifically at that part of the joint, you will pop the leg off this ball joint every time. And the feet are on ball joints, so you can get a little bit of pivot and back and forth and whatnot. It doesn't have any type of heel spur. I guess this tiny lump is like the heel support, but Fans Toys always does that. It seems like they go for sculpt and don't go for heel support. But he's great. Let me show you how he transforms. So flip the head around, move this around, and you got to rotate this, which brings in Fans Toys' ongoing dick joke that they like to do. But that was a thing on the G1 also, so I'm gonna let him slide a little bit. Fold the arms backwards. There's a peg on the back of his hand that goes into the back of his arms. Then we have to rotate this up like that. Like that right there. Now you peg these together. Ow. Everything's tight on both of these figures, sometimes too tight. But we need to bend that joint to allow it to get up these holes to get to these pegs, which is easier said than done. And getting this lined up is a nightmare, to be honest. But yeah, I might come. Yeah, after you get it together, you can straighten the legs how you see fit. But basically, yeah, there we go. Here he is in his gun mode, and Cyclonus Quietus holds it extremely well. A lot of recent Fans Toys figures I got could not hold their gun well, so being able to hold the gun is a significant thing for them, so that is good. I definitely love this gun. He comes with 3 guns. 1 transforms, but 3 guns. Holy moly, I love it. Like I said, I do not feel gypped with this guy, and this one is really large and awesome. And you see how his hands work right here with the in and out motion, and all the fingers are individually articulated with like 3 joints basically. So instead of like 3 individual parts, it's basically like a double joint system right there. So that's different and new, and it doesn't make the hands look overly large. But one thing they have trouble with as far as these transforming figures is how to make the thumbs look. Sometimes the thumbs look really long and wonky to me, so when you're trying to do like a thumbs up pose, it looks weird. Maybe you could do this. There we go. But the hand can come completely out for stop type poses, so that's great. Alright, to let you see, the guns just peg in like any other type of masterpiece style figure. He has a peg on it, so it can peg to his back, which is cool. He comes with this gun right here, which has more paint and looks more like one of those weird G1 cartoony guns. So there you go with that. And of course, here is Nightstick, which fits into the hand great. So here you are with this right here. They do not have pegs, the other 2 guns, only his big rifle, but that's cool. Okay, the paint on this guy is phenomenal. The way they did the face on this figure, the face change out gimmick, is better than I can think of on any other Fans Toys. You just pull out the bottom and boom, the face comes off as 2 pegs. You plug that in and he could be angry. Now one thing I forgot to mention about the face, like although Galvatron had the Leonard Nimoy voice in the movie, I always looked at Cyclonus as Spock. It's something about his face that, it's probably the eyebrows that makes me think about Spock. So you can see the difference with the other faces they give you is they don't have a goatee. Sometimes in the cartoon he didn't have a goatee, sometimes he did, sometimes he had the outline but it wasn't darkened. And of course he comes with this IDW option with the option to even have 2 horns, and they move. I'm not gonna mess with that stuff until the end of the video because you can't even transform with these side skirts on, but I'll show you the swords up close right now. One issue I had with the swords is they had these, and here's the longer one. Nice paint, really good there. They had these little scabbard things or sword holders on top of them. They would not come off. I had to put the blow dry on them for like 2 minutes straight. Like if I did less than 2 minutes, it would not loosen up. But after the 2 minutes, it took 2 minutes to get them off of the swords. So I couldn't even see any of this detail right here until I heated that up and pulled it off. So I don't know whether the paint fused them together or whether they did that in the factory on purpose for some weird reason. Full disclosure, if I don't complete any thoughts or something seems weird, every time I get a hot item, and I'm going to be showing off articulation while we go, my camera, it seems like it knows and it starts overheating on me. I already showed the hands, and I don't know what's up with that. Like when I got Hot Rod, I was like one of the first people to do a Masterpiece Hot Rod review, and that thing kept overheating and I had to do all the comparisons. It took me 6 hours to film that daggone review. He has a waist swivel, on a strong ratchet, it sounds like you're breaking it. This crotch panel right here pushes out. They designed it in such a way where if you were to continue pushing it, it's just gonna fall off. So basically this is all the waist swivel you need, and you know when you turn that back, it pushes back in. It has these panels right here for articulation. Everything is tight, kinda too tight. What the heck? All right, so he can kick all the way forward, and it has these butt panels. Like this thing right here pegs into his butt, so if you want to get any waist articulation, you got to move that. And he has separate butt panels right here so his leg can go back further than that. But why do you need the leg to go back further than that? It has this swivel right here. He has a die cast double joint right there. His leg can bend all the way freaking back. They actually gave him good ankle pivot. His foot can actually go back. Awesome. And this toe can go forward. Now he has this additional piece. You need to move that for transformation. I'll leave it out for robot mode because it seems like he has better heel support. As you can see, his heel is not that big. I haven't had trouble standing him up. So whatever they did to get him balanced is great. This thing right here, after transforming it once, that got a little bit more loose. So these will flop around, it seems like. I might put some floor polish in there to make that a little bit better. And it's painted all over, so when you're doing what I'm doing right now, I'm kind of probably scraping away at that paint. Now the way this is folded up, sometimes you'll untab things. It's like triple layered, and you'll see that during the transformation. But this thing looks great. It feels awesome. It's a Fans Toys product, so you know it's full of friggin' die cast. The feet are die cast, the knees are die cast. There's a bar in between his body right there where this connects. I kind of feel like there's some die cast in the legs, but I can't confirm that. It might just be the feet. Oh, I think this whole piece maybe die cast. It's not that cool in here. I had to turn on the fan if you hear the background noise or white noise in the background, so hoping this camera will stop overheating. But yeah, it's great. It's solid. Only thing I wish it had was an ab crunch, and it would have been to the next level, because the ankles, knees, hips, hands, the way all of that works, can look up that much, swivel that much. It's all great. The paint is awesome. I cannot freaking complain. I like the weapons and accessories, and I don't know whether I'm gonna cut in his. I'm gonna do the IDW mode at the end after I do everything else. Here he is next to two of my only post-movie Decepticons. So there you go with that. I was lied about the heel support thing because they actually did give Mindwipe or Dracula here heel support. But yeah, and they did the same thing with this dude, to be honest. Here's official Masterpiece Ultra Magnus right there. I honestly expected him to be taller than Megatron right here, because I know he's taller than Fans Toys Galvatron, but as you can see, they're around about the same height, or it looks like on camera that Megatron is taller, but with the naked eye, they are about the same height. Here's some other randoms I'm throwing in. Besides anything else I mentioned, the only thing I need is a Decepticon symbol. I need one with a clear back, because the ones with the silver do not look right on him. But anyway, transformation. Let's just squeeze this together right here. You need to do that. And we need to turn the head around. I'm going out of order, doing what I feel like is the easiest stuff, like lifting this up and pulling that out to rotate there. That push this in here and it pegs in the front. Let's do that again over here. Now let's mess with the arms to just get this out of the way. But you need to push these forward, and then they rotate the long way around to get out of the way. You have to rotate it the long way. You cannot, when you go to transform it again, you would think, oh, let's just do that, but it stops right there. So you have to rotate it the long way to get them down and out of the way. Fold the fingers, or put the thumb in this orientation and fold the fingers up tight in front of them, and those joints are tight. The only thing you have to worry about popping off, because these aren't like X-Transbot's fingers, is the thumb, because that's on a ball joint at the base. Now let's pull this chest off. It like tabs into the front. So you gotta like kind of wedge your finger in there. When you do this, it pushes out the back. I don't know if you guys were able to see that, but so you can just kind of bring that down now. Now, here's one tough part I had. I felt like I was gonna break it, and with Fans Toys, you gotta be very careful. I had to read to see how to do this. You need to push this 90 degrees backwards, like that. And once you do that, you can detach this right here and pull all of this up. One thing that may give you issues is there is a part flared out. So you have to make sure you get it in between the little area where it allows you to pull it straight up. These things right here, they're flared out. So there's that. Now we need to pull this out. There is like a little thing right here. You pull this up. It basically unlatches this and allows you to slide this up right here. Unfurl this. Leave that right there. Now we can lift this up. This will be folded. You need to put them together and bring this here. There's two tabs. Kind of leave that up. One thing I don't like is there's nothing to stop you from pushing these two panels in too far. So try not to push your finger there when you push this down. And now you need to push this down. Alright, now we can push the head into this cavity. Push this into place. Push this into place right here. When you push the head into the cavity, make sure you shove it down as well. Now this needs to come down and go there. It's nothing to stop you from pushing that into the cavity as well, which does suck, I'm not gonna lie. Now we need to make sure that these two pegs are out before you forget. I just cut my fingernails out, and there's nothing to lock them into the position that you need them to be in, so that's a little bit difficult. They need to groove into the back of the legs when we get there. But yeah, you keep a tool handy that's flat, because you're gonna need that probably a couple times. All right, rotate the arms back this way, and now we can bring this bar down like this. Don't plug the legs in or anything yet. Let's go finish messing with the wings. It already came detached. We can detach it some more. Rotate this way. This slides down. There's a little wing that slides down, wing piece. Now with that out of the way, this can actually come all the way out and tab into there. There's a wing that comes down right there, wing piece right there, and we can go ahead. The elbow basically needs to lift up over top of that little notch that's cut out. And now we can put this into here. Well, like I said, the steps are easy. Just doing the steps, it's kind of difficult. It's kind of difficult to get this peg into there, but once you get it in there, it stays. Now the hand needs to be basically in that position. Do the same stuff over here. On the underbelly, make sure that this chest panel has put itself into place like this. Now try to bring this down all the way. They peg into the chest plate right here. Bring that down. Come on, you. I said bring you down. Try to plug that into place onto the chest plate. I guess before we worry about the chest plate thing, we need to lift this up, and here is the big problem. Lift that up, bring it up to here. We need to peg in 3 places. We need to plug this over a little peg right there, and there's a peg right there, And this is what drove me crazy and why it took me a day to even try to start filming this. No matter how hard I press, no matter whether I tab those leg things in, which I read online that that's causing a problem, this right here never gets flush. It's like there's something blocking it. It feels like there's something blocking it right in this area. It never gets flushed like they show on the images, but in the instructions it's kind of raised. It's not raised as bad as mine, but I just have to ignore that and think to myself that that's how it's supposed to look. It's just my brain that wants that part to be flush, but it just can't be flush. These two pegs are in place, so that's just how it is. Now, I told you to put these shoulders on here, but the instructions say get them out of the way. You need to rotate the foot back. And then we can open this leg up right here. After you pull out the thruster, make sure that you pull out, there's a little peg. This peg needs to be kind of straight up, and that's going to give you an issue just like the pegs under here that I mentioned. But with this out like this, we need to move the foot like this and accordion this and shut that while moving the foot up at the same time. And this part is kind of difficult. I kind of don't know where. I see in the direction that says the foot goes there, but it kind of like bumps. But once you get it in there, try to shut it around the thigh. And this was the good part, the good leg. Now it's giving me issues. The thigh wasn't pressed all the way down. It wasn't all the way down. So now what we need to do is lift this panel up, rotate it this way. Now it can go up like this and peg down onto that same peg I took it off of. I'm gonna try to do this on this side a little bit smoother. Push the foot back like that, open this right here, open this thruster, pull the peg out like that. Now we need to accordion the leg while shutting this at the same time, because this is kind of in the way. Open the leg up to get it out of the way if it's in the way. Make sure everything is tightly shut in there. Bring the foot forward. Kind of close it while you're shutting all this. It's the same deal I had over there where this is not pushed down all the way, so it's giving me trouble. Okay, I can't do this smoothly. I don't know what it is with this foot. And I hate to not be very smooth with these transformations. People give me good compliments on my transformations. I don't know, fiddle around with it until it works. It's frustrating me. Open this panel up right here. Open it, turn it this way, rotate it this way, and then shut it back onto that little peg again. So now we can peg these together. Now we need to make sure the pegs are still down. Like I said, keep a flat-ish tool around because it's going to be hard as crap to keep that lined up so they can go into the holes in the back of his legs. But basically collapse them into the holes in the back of the legs. Once you get it into place, more than likely you're gonna knock all of this crap out of whack. It's not like a secure fit, unfortunately. Bring this back up. The arm pegs into the side of the, there's a hole right there. The arm pegs into there. Come on, light, work with me. It might be better if I have it into the orientation it's supposed to be in. Like I said, getting this stuff, I mean, knowing the instructions is easy, but getting it to happen is the hard part. Plug that into place, and now we need to wrap this around the hand, make sure the inside of the palm is right there and the fingers are touching right there. There's a peg right there that needs to come up under here, and once again, flat tool, because getting that to line up is difficult. Let's try that again over here. Put this into its place right here. Peg this into the side of the leg. Make sure the peg is still up. Wrap it under, and that side went in. And now, which is a tough part, like this gap right there, anything that's still loose, straighten it. You got to put a tremendous amount of force into pushing that in, and it will go in. And the last step is to take these panels and plug that into here. Same thing, they tell you in the instructions, tremendous force. So, sheesh. Now, the construction of this toy is better than a lot of fans' toys where I don't feel like I'm gonna break it, which is good since you need to put a lot of force into it. But this thing right here, and I know there are gonna be a ton of fixes after I put this review up. I don't know how to get this to sit flush, and it's driving me up the wall. I'm thinking about shaving some parts underneath of this cockpit, which does not have like a real seat in there. Like, I think, was it X-Transbots? But anywho, he is a futuristic, sleek jet that has visible kibble if you know what the robot mode looks like. Well, they definitely have the visible hands and the back of the head and the neck, but it's overall sleek as crap. Looks nice, definitely from this angle. This is a die-cast piece, I didn't mention that, but yeah, the only problem is this is not sitting as flush as I would like it to sit. And oh yeah, if you find out the fix, please, for the love of God, read my comments and make sure that nobody else told me already. I will put a heart, I will pin that to the top. So if you see right at the top somebody told me to fix, you don't have to tell me. Thank you, I appreciate y'all, but I don't need the same comment over and over and over again. He has landing gear. The landing gear is right here, and it's right here. I will kind of leave these notches out like that because if they're shut, especially this side on for me, I could not get it open. And I had all of this tightly transformed and I couldn't get that open. It drove me up the wall. So there you are with that. If I didn't mention it, I like the transparent parts right here in the kneecaps. The wheels do actually roll even though they're tiny as crap, so that is good. So it looks good. It feels definitely nice and heavy and solid. I don't know if there's any like stand ports or anything. It would have been nice if they could have incorporated that. Maybe you could stuff something up into that neck cavity, but I don't know. Here is that die-cast bar that I was talking about. But yeah, it's great except that right there. But if you don't pay attention to it, you don't focus on it, but I keep mentioning it, so you have no choice but to keep focusing on it, then you be alright. Now he can still store his gun right here. Unfortunately, the Target Master, not that I'm aware of, has any interaction. Well, I mean, no. He can hold the sword on his back as well, at least one. Here it is next to an official seeker, so it's not that much longer than him, to be honest. In fact, not including that freaking needle, Starscream would be longer. Well, man, this is gonna be a long review because now I have to change him into a whole nother character. If he can transform with these still on, they sure didn't show that in the instructions, but basically This is the front. The scabbard part that does this is the back. These need to raise up like this and come up like that. Now actually this would make it incorrect, so we need to rotate this right here and then bring this up like that. Peg this into the hole in the side of the leg that you didn't notice until I showed you there was a hole in the side of the leg. The way this plastic right here feels like Hasbro plastic, I guess I could say, but that's a good thing because of the way you need to detach this. So now you just rotate it up like that and it's on the side. Same thing over here. Plug this into place, and when you're taking them off, I would swing it this way and bend it that way and it'll come off easier. But lift that up and voila, you're done with the samurai leg guard right there. And of course, if you want, the swords can fit into the scabbards right there. And if you don't want scabbards on both sides, they do come out, and they're 5mm pegs. Changing the face, you need to pop this out right here. Come on off. Unscrew that right there, and I believe you'll have to unscrew the back of these two screws right there. Let me find out if that's the case. You have to take out all 3 screws, and here's how this works. It's a ratchet system right there. So it's going to be the same thing with this face right here. The peg is different, but you have to push this out. Peg is on the bottom, and you have to unscrew that, and that'll give you access to the back of his head, I guess. And there's going to be 2 more screws in there, but I'll find out. Hallelujah, there's 1 screw, and one of the pegs is already broke right there, but luckily there's a screw keeping that into place. Just put this on here, put this back on there, put the screw back in there, and put the face back on. If you're still watching this, I deserve a like. A lot of reviewers won't even put the other heads on, and I want to see what this looks like myself. Shove the face back into place, and now here we have IDW-ish Cyclonus. I believe the rest of his armor was more samurai-like, not just the side skirt things, but this is the closest you'll ever have right now to a masterpiece IDW Cyclonus. So that is cool right there. Let's take this longer sword, take one of these scabbards, and we can place this on his back. There you are. And actually, that's not even the long sword, but here is a sword on his back if you want to see that. Now there are no pegs in these sword handles, so he's not gonna hold this as tight as the guns. Well, I would just wrap the fingers around as tight as possible. You can put the thumb into whatever orientation you want, and here he is holding this sword right here, which is cool. And because of the way the hands work, he is capable of holding the handle with both hands. So there you are with that. But that's not it. They gave this option right here if you don't like asymmetrical, and I don't like asymmetrical. It drives me up the wall. But basically we need to remove this spike thing right here and go ahead and replace it with the symmetrical spike. Try not to break that, because I bet you if you break that, this will pop right off. Place it back on the little neck hinge, put this back into place, and now here we are with this completed look with the symmetrical spikes. And I honestly I do like that, so I'm happy that they gave us this option. And I just feel satisfied with my purchase. I'm happy I didn't pay BBTS prices for it. I'm pretty sure they are $20 more than I paid. So, yeah. Or that I will pay eventually. Anyway, this is nice. I don't have too many complaints besides that cockpit not coming together, but I'm sure there'll be a fix later. Now, I know a lot of people won't do this, but I like it. Full disclosure, I wanted to end this video with a little comparison to my Make Toys rear end, aka IDW tailgate. I can't find that thing. I've been having it right here under where I'm reviewing right now in a little drawer for months. Now that I want it, I don't know what I did with it. So yeah, my feelings are hurt on that. If I find it, check me out on Instagram. Check me out on Instagram, period. I'm gonna have more pictures of this thing up. I'm gonna have him in this mode for a while before I switch him back, because work is work. And the best I can do right now is give you this little tailgate, which is the exact same height as the IDW one. So let me get him out of here. I should have did that comparison before I changed his face. But anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you for watching up until this point. I really appreciate it. Until next time, T-Man978 out of here.
Click the videos. Click the fucking videos, baby. Click the videos. You should really click